I was making cinnamon scrolls when it happened. This was the third recipe I'd tried, and I was pretty sure that I'd nailed it this time. I'd read and reread the whole long and boring preamble before all three, searching for clues, tidbits, corroborating, triangulating baking data to make sure that this time I would get it right, that I would not fuck it up. After all, what else did I have to do? The first recipe was from The Guardian, my trusted guardian, watching over me throughout the pandemic, keeping my addiction to the horrors of the news cycle fed, balancing the COVID case numbers with the increasingly terrifying Trump blatherings, with recipe ideas for my sourdough starter discard. But it had failed me. Not fluffy enough, not enough sugar, no cream cheese frosting, just. The second one was better though. A recipe from an American food blogger, sort of posh, blonde, blow wave mom with a clean, posh family. White kitchen, white website, just very white. Her recipe was the top Google search listing, and her comments were full of adoring praise for her recipe. The top comment had even said, "The best cinnamon scrolls that you will ever eat. The best cinnamon scrolls in the world. So fluffy and so perfect." But nowhere in the fairly extensive comments that I read did anyone explain that US cup measurements are different to Australian ones, and if you just interchange them without converting them, the dough won't rise and it will be too stiff and they won't be fluffy. So I was trying again, this time with a third recipe given to me by my partner Julia, promised by another work colleague, another ISO baking convert. Oh, Julia was working late, being essential. So I had the house to myself. Just me, my rolling pin, and an unwavering commitment to prove that I too was, well, if not essential, at least useful, because I could make delicious baked goods. So, I could tell this time it was better because I could knead the dough without dislocating my shoulder, or drop it to the bench from eye level and bash it with a mallet. So, this recipe also divulged the secret ingredient for making it extra fluffy. Cream. I was rolling out the dough, feeling pretty confident when I heard my friend Dan was inviting me to a house party room. You know, he was waving. No, not really waving, house party waving. I'd only downloaded the app a week or so before, and I was new to it, and I didn't really know how it worked. It seemed kind of like Zoom, except it sat on in the background of your phone and would blip at me at random times to let me know when people were online in a fairly intrusive way, just like this one. But what the hell? What else was I doing? So I clicked accept and found myself face to face with her. Well, her name at first. I knew it, of course. I mean, her social accounts are all private, so I couldn't properly stalk her, but I had seen photos of her on Dan's Insta account, and I Googled her a bunch of times to find pics of her wearing Lewinsky red lipstick on her workplace's Meet the Teen page, and that's her name. What's her name doing there? Oh God. That means Dan must have sent out general invites to his contact list, and she's also on his contact list. And OMG, I am about to see her, and I don't know what to do. What should I do? Should I press exit? But I don't know how to press exit. What button would I press? Or I could just drop my phone, but then I'd have to pick it up. Or I could just back. But then she would know too that I was a total weirdo creep. And I'd digitally run away like a coward. But I couldn't possibly bear seeing. Too late. She appears. There she is in the center of my screen, taking up most of my phone, leaving me, Dan, and his girlfriend Annette squished into the bottom left and right hand windows. Her cool, cropped, ashy blonde hairdo, her arty glasses, her annoyingly pretty mouth, those lips that had... Oh, God. Oh God, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Oh, what do I do? She's recognized me. Her mid-sentence smile drops when I appear, and she seems uncomfortable like me, waiting. She'd know what I looked like. She'd have seen pictures of me with Julia, who had cheated on me. With her. I found out when I was in Europe. Julia had called to tell me. I was in Rome, the eternal city. That day, a perfect summer European Tuesday, had felt like an eternity. I'd been in Europe for 2 weeks. 2 weeks? I had 4 weeks in Europe left. And I wandered around that fucking luminous terracotta city wondering if the constant thick pressure in my chest would ever let up, or if I was as romantically ruined as my surroundings. Ugh. And I stopped dating, which was a fucking tragedy, because I should have been scoffing down burrata and salumi and gelati. And I made up for it by drinking a lot and crying. Repeat. Oh, I love her, you know? Like, you know, they say, you know when you know. Well, I know, but still this was fucking heartbreaking. How could she do this to me? When I feel like this about her, does she not see how precious, how... Why would she risk that? Well, it took a lot of work. A lot of circular conversations, outrageously demanding texts at the worst possible times when she would have to excuse herself from meetings to deal with my emotional rantings. Babe, I love you. Didn't mean anything. She was there, and I'm only human, and this and that. And can you blame me? Yes, I can fucking blame you. Don't you see? I am fucking blaming you. It had taken a lot of work, and eventually we got through it. Decided to stick together. But that was only one part of the equation, because in the 8 or so months since it had happened, she had grown in my mind like some sort of mythical beast. An Aphrodite, Helen of Troy, Aubrey Plaza hybrid. A way cooler, funnier, more interesting, sex-mad contortionist with a cool apartment. One with plants and mid-century furniture. And I knew that she lived in my suburbs, so I'd become obsessed with this idea that every time I left the house, that I'd somehow run into her. But I'd be able to pretend that I didn't see her. Keep riding my bike, not look up on public transport, pretend I was really, really interested in a particular article in a magazine in a cafe, or, dive into my phone. It could be done. It's 2020. We're all experts at avoiding things we don't want to see, right? No, I knew I'd meet her at some point. She was friends with Dan, and I'd already made him not invite her to his birthday party, which made me seem like the worst witch. So, I needed to rise above it and be the cool girl. Hi, I'd say I'm Sally. I know that you know Julia, and I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry that you were dragged into the middle of a really messy and awkward situation between us. And I just wanted to say that I don't blame you and I don't hate you. And then I'd say something really witty and funny, and we'd both laugh and share a bit of a joke about how women were a bit crap, and she would think, gee, what a cool girl. No wonder Julia loves her. And wow, what a lucky couple. What a cool couple. But all I could do was stare. Look, she looked lost too. And if I wasn't feeling so completely suffocated by my own existential dread, I'd have probably felt sorry for her. Dan's girlfriend, Annette, was friends with her, the other woman, so she knew the full story. And she looked frozen like the rest of us, hovering over her chopping board, knife suspended in midair. She looked like she was going to throw up. And she seemed torn between her urge to tell Dan off for orchestrating this horror show and to keep things as not awkward as they could be in this totally awkward, hella awkward situation. Ugh. And I found my mouth moving. Words coming out. Hello, my mouth said. I'm Sally. Hi, Sally. I'm Claire. Nice to meet you, Claire. I'm making cinnamon buns, she said. What are you up to?